Hey, welcome to Judgment Day. Today it's all about chickens and dog fighting. Today on the show we're taking a look at Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg for the GameCube, Great Escape for the PlayStation 2, SSX3 for the PlayStation 2, and Crimson Sky's High Road to Revenge for the Xbox. Alright, first game we're going to talk about is Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. This one's from Sega, and it's for the GameCube. It's a GameCube exclusive. What do you think about little Billy Hatcher, my friend?
Why do you make me play these games?
Billy Hatcher, man, it's like he's perfectly suited for you, isn't it?
No.
You've been waiting for this one for a long time, I can tell.
For me, to get into a game, I need to be into the content. I need to be into the story. I need to be, I want it to draw me in as a big dramatic experience.
And the idea behind the gameplay is that you play this kid in a chicken suit, and you're trying to save these chickens who've been captured by crows.
You meet Meanie Weenie, whatever his name is, who's the king of the chicken gods.
Right.
Tells you get the super chicken suit.
The chicken suit, he puts the chicken suit on.
5 minutes in, I got a problem, you know what I'm saying?
With the big rooster head going on. He has control of these giant eggs, and he runs around, and he grabs the eggs, and then he rolls them over bad guys and stuff, and then they leave little pieces of fruit, and then you roll your egg over the fruit, and feed your egg, it gets bigger, and then you can hatch your egg.
See where I'm going with this?
And then you have a little creature that can help you. So you have like a penguin that turns into like a water bomb, and you can put out fires, or you have like this flying monkey.
Out your butt.
And then you can zap everybody with lightning. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, it's unique.
It is very unique.
Amazing might be going too far. It's unique in that it's a game where you're rolling big eggs over stuff.
You're doing that.
I've never done that before. You don't get a chance to do that in Grand Theft Auto.
No.
They don't have egg rolling mode in Madden.
Yes.
So this is a unique video game experience.
It absolutely is.
So then you actually get into the game and you don't know what you're supposed to do. You're just thrown into this game to kind of figure out that you have to roll eggs around.
You know what though?
Collect the fruit.
It's kind of refreshing though.
If you're going to be weird, you got to at least tell me why.
Well, it's a weird video game, but it's refreshing that it doesn't aspire to be another kind of story.
Absolutely true.
It's a video game.
For that. But the problem I had is, don't you think that the enemies in the game could have at least be a little bit challenging? All they do is they stand there and you just roll your egg over them. That's it. They don't attack.
I like the multiplayer gaming.
Let's explain what the multiplayer is. There's 2 players. Or 4.
Right.
And you all have to roll your egg over each other.
That's right. You beat them up with the eggs. You can roll, or you can kick them at the people, and then you can hatch the eggs and then throw your flying monkeys or your penguins at the people.
Does this sound fun to anyone out there? And the music in this game is so childlike. I mean, it gives video game music a bad rap.
The music is fun. The music fits the mood of this game.
If you went to a movie and you would sit in a movie, you would
never
hear stuff like that. I'm talking about production quality.
It's a video game.
I'm talking about production quality. If you went to see a kids movie, you wouldn't have this style of music.
I think the style of music fits
really
perfectly.
gives video game music a bad name.
Absolutely wrong.
Now,
it looks like it sounds. This is a good.
Yeah, it looks like it sounds like crap.
No, it looks fine. It's a cute
what I'm talking about is that there's no dialogue as well in the cinematic.
Right.
So it's all reading. It's all reading. Hey, I don't care. This is the 21st century. These are the next generation platforms. We don't want to read.
We don't want to read the chickens and the crows.
No.
We want to hear them talking.
We want to hear about it.
I like. Speaking of voiceovers, though, I like the couple of little doos that the chicken creatures do. That's pretty cute. I like that stuff.
You would.
I like that.
What about when the kid's pushing the eggs? It sounds like he's taking a dump.
I had a good time with Billy Hatcher. Kids are going to have fun with it, and adults are going to have fun with it. Fans of Sonic are going to have fun with it. It's not as good as Sonic. It's not as good as Knights, but it's still fun.
It's not as good as most games out there.
7 out of 10.
Oh,
what do you give it?
I'm gonna lay an egg because of that.
Oh, yeah? I'd like to see that.
5.
We're obviously going to have to agree to disagree on this one, but on the positive side, I thought the music was really cute and fit the game perfectly. I like the look of the game with the chicken suit on the character. Very cool stuff there. And I enjoyed the multiplayer gameplay in this. this thing as well.
On the negative side, every single thing he just said.
All right, now let's move from Morningland and cute and colorful graphics to a Nazi concentration camp with The Great Escape. This one's from Gotham Games. It's for the PlayStation 2, also available for the Xbox and PC. What do you think of this one?
Now, The Great Escape was a very popular movie starring Steve McQueen, and
yep.
I wasn't very familiar with this movie and license. The cool thing about this game initially is kind of the ambiance it creates. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Medal of Honor, where you actually feel like you've been put into this battle and war initially. So it creates this ambiance of, oh my God, I don't want to get caught.
First guy that you get to play has to get himself out of this burning airplane, and then later on you have other, scenarios that you have to play through, and you get to understand each of the different characters as individuals, and I kind of enjoyed that. Now, the problem with all of this is that even though they've added some variety, and you do get to drive some vehicles, you get to drive the motorcycle like Steve McQueen did, there's some tanks and stuff that you get to jump into, and they have all these other sort of little mini-game bits. The bulk of the gameplay is you sneaking around concentration camps, trying to grab things and complete objectives.
Like that game Prisoner of War.
It's very much like Prisoner of War. I didn't even like Prisoner of War, and I like this game less. I mean, the control is bad. The artificial intelligence of the Nazi guards is horrible. And the worst crime that this thing does is you never know if they can see you or not.
Well,
so what kind of game is that? You're totally in the dark trying to figure out what you're supposed to do, and you don't know if you're hot or not.
My major issue is the whole combat. When you actually get into combat and you're punching guys, and it's very slow, and the camera angles are horrible.
I also didn't like the graphics of the people. I mean, they just looked all blocky and
the environments were okay.
The environments
the planes were okay.
Yeah.
I thought the voiceovers were good as well, because there's that part where you're in the plane, and it doesn't feel like actors in a studio reading a script, which most video games do.
No, they do.
This actually puts you in there, and that's what I like, because it is difficult to do that in video games, is build that ambiance.
More fighters are incoming, sir! What do we do? Just yet.
The way that you kind of get guards to go off in other areas, it's not just sneaking around the whole game. You actually have to use your brain a little bit. Like there's this one part where you have to use the intercom, and you have to get on the intercom to call all of the guards to camp, and that's how you get them away from the area you need to get in. So it's innovative like that.
Even though this is kind of an original idea to bring back this beloved movie and bring it into the game world, where's the audience for this thing? I don't think most people that play games today even know this movie exists, for one thing.
True.
And, the fans of the movie are probably in their 40s now, and they might go out and try this game and be, like, completely oblivious to how bad it is.
But you're right.
What is that audience?
Not going to be a big seller, I can tell you that.
This is a pile. This game is not worth your time. Stay away from The Great Escape. 3 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 6. On the positive side, the ambiance that the game creates is actually very well done. They use some pretty new and unique ideas in order to get around the guards. And finally, it's kind of nice to see these companies going after some older, great movies. Maybe it'll get people interested in it again.
On the negative side, this game features horrible AI. You can never tell whether you're being seen or not. The combat controls are horrible, and there's major slowdown during the fights. And also, the character models just don't stack up. They're not as good as the environments in this game at all. Stick around. We're heading up to the hills for SSX 3 right after this.